Alright, so let me turn on everything. And welcome viewers. Today we are going to be doing some D&D for beginners. I'm here with Journey. Hopefully you can hear him perfectly fine. This is going to be hopefully a new series that I'll also be posting to YouTube as well for anyone who is either a recurring visitor to D&D or if you're interested in playing D&D and you want to know the basics. So the first thing to start off with, which is one of the most important things, is character creation. So right now we're going to be using Roll20. This one is, I feel like, the go-to aside from D&D Beyond when it comes to playing D&D online. I like it because it feels relatively easy to use. You can have a free account. You can do a pro account for more features, especially if you're making campaigns. You'll be able to access more things. So, first we're going to work on this character here. So, we're going to be using some stuff from D&D, and we're also going to be using some homebrew content as well. That is from the courtesy of stuff that I have created and also Journey has created as well. And that's going to be published in his book on DMsGuild, The Journeyman's Guide for Adventurers.
Yo.
All right. So we're going to be starting with this one as a bugbear fighter with the subclass combat medic that I worked on with Journey. And race, bugbear. Subrace, there is no subrace for this. So, this nice little website, chickendinner.com/ and then you see all that. This is a 5e point buy calculator. So there's a couple different ways to do stats for Dungeons and Dragons. One of the ways is point buy calculator. So basically what it is here, I'll show you. It starts out with all your stats at a value of 8, and then you have 27 points to allocate. Depending on how high the score you do, the cost will be different per point. So from 8 to 9 is 1 point, another point, another point, another point, another point. So then when it goes from 13 to 14, then it goes 2 points. And the maximum value that you can allocate a score base to is 15. But we're going to be putting it to 14 because with a bugbear, you get a +2 in strength. So we're going to put that to a 16, nice even number. Because I don't like odd numbers. Unless I want to scheme with some feats and all that, but I generally prefer keeping everything as an even number. So same thing over here as well. So you get the 8, but with bugbears, they get a +1 to dexterity. We
are using Tasha's rules.
So that's definitely going to be an option. So with the introduction of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, you have an option to move around ability scores as needed because, maybe you want to play a bugbear who's smarter than normal. That's completely okay. But with the build that I'm going to be going with, I'm going to focus on strength and dexterity for my combat medic. So we're going to want to give them a nice +3 for both of those. Okay, now for Constitution, so first we're going to level everything else out first, just to see how many points we have left. So we have 3 points left that we can allocate. So Constitution, we're going to bump that up. And we'll go through the line of what everything is first, once I do all this. And then I'll just put a random point in time, whatever. So Strength, that's typically going to be like if you're using a great sword, a long sword, stuff like that. That's going to be what determines your 2-hit. That's going to determine any damage modifier. If you have a strength save, so for example, if someone's trying to grapple you with some effect, you might need to do a strength save, or you might need to do a athletics check. That's all going to be determined on your strength. So here, let me refer to this over here, the character sheet. So over here, this is going to be your strength. That plays into this. And then also on your skills, anything that has strength tied to it. So, for example, athletics. That's going to be using that. Ooh, rosy pages, thank you. So, back to point buy calculator. Now, another important one as well for pretty much any class is going to be Constitution. That's going to be determining your health as well. So, every class is going to have a base die. So for fighters, that's going to be a D10. And then at first level, for example, you're going to have your health start off as 10 plus your constitution. So with this over here, it's going to start off with my beautiful number, 11. So let's just put all the stats together now. So 16, 16, 12. Ooh, not 156. 16, 16, 12. And then 10, 11, 10. 10, 11, 10. All right. Now you're going to see that these automatically have different modifying numbers. So the way to determine what your modifier is, if you're doing this live sessions on paper or anything like that. Yes, he is. He is Journey. You can hear him through the chat.
Testing if everyone can hear me.
I think they should be able to hear you because when I'm looking at the screen, it's definitely picking up your audio.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. So basically what you're going to do is, for example, let's take the 16 to determine the modifier. You're going to subtract 10, and then you're going to divide 2, and that's what your modifier comes out to. Now, for odd numbers, you're going to obviously get a 0.5. The rule is that you're going to round down to get the modifier. So in the case of 11, subtract 10, you get 1, divide that by half, you're going to get 0.5, which then you get an ability modifier of 0. That's not necessarily bad. In D&D terms, a 10 means an average stat. So it doesn't mean that you're horrible, doesn't mean you're the best either. All right, so let's make sure everything over here is good. Now, so I've chosen Bugbear. So if we scroll down on this website, it's going to give us the racial traits. So normally you'd have to have the books in order to reference what you can, what you get from your race. This website here gives you everything that you need. So ability scores tells you right here your age. You can determine whatever age. So for example, for this character, we're just going to say that they're 50, because why not? Size. Size is also pretty important when it comes to D&D. Bugbears are between 6 and 8 feet tall, so we'll just say 7 feet. And weigh anywhere from 250 to 350 pounds. We're going to say he's a bit of a chonky boy, so we're going to put him at 350 pounds. And now, walking speed. Walking speed is always going to be important because that's going to determine what you can and cannot reach within a turn. Dark vision. Dark vision is going to be important. It's in my opinion, is one of the most important abilities that someone can get. Dark vision. Let me just paste this and then we can read this together. So that's going to be a racial ability. And that's going to be innate. Oh, let's get that. So basically with dark vision as is, you can see out to 60 feet in dark light as if it was dim light. If you're in dim light, you can see as if it was regular lighting. Now, with most forms of dark vision, you can only see in shades of gray. Let me get rid of that right there. So, especially when you're dungeon crawling, dark vision might be pretty important. Because if not, then you're going to need plenty of torches or light spells or anything of the sorts. Now, the reason why I chose Bugbear for this one, long-limbed. So, when you make a melee attack on your turn, your reach for it is 5 feet greater than normal. And that's because bugbears tend to have very lanky arms. Oop. Long-limbed. Facial. Innate. Without the spelling errors, please. Bam. We're going to collapse that. On to the next one. Powerful build. You count as one size larger when determining your carry capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. This, especially if you play a character who likes to be a pack mule, like I do sometimes, or a grappler, this can be very important. What was the name of that? Powerful build. Now, the process for character creation can be a little tedious at the beginning, but once you have your nice flow, especially online where you can just copy and paste everything, it doesn't take too long. Journey and I have a little bit of experience making characters, so even a level 20 character can be rather easy for us. So for today, we're going to use level 10 characters as a reference. That's going to be essentially in the middle of the range when it comes to D&D characters, power, output, and all that. Sneaky. So bugbears right off the bat get proficiency in stealth. Now, while I'm doing this journey, can you tell us a little bit about the Journeyman's Guide for Adventurers?
The Journeyman's Guide for Adventurers is a homebrew project I started about a year ago at this point. Currently, it is a 50-page document. Within it, there are backgrounds, races, subclasses, character lineages, spells, feats, and magic items. We currently have 25 subclasses that I have created, some with the help of good friends such as Bear here. And hopefully, relatively soon, I'm trying to work on getting like art commissions for it, so I can get some proper art in there, and then I plan to put it up on the DMsGuild.
All right. And we've been thoroughly playtesting everything as well for making sure that everything seems fair and balanced. He's even put some of it out in community outreach, just so that we can get also outside opinions as well. And from all the feedback that we've been getting for a lot of the content, everything is fairly balanced as well. So you don't have to worry too much about when it comes to power gaming, like, oh, these abilities are too strong, too broken.
The Journeyman's Guide has definitely gone through many revisions since its first inception. Currently, there is a subclass for clerics in it known as the Winter Domain Cleric. Initially, it was the Frozen Soul Domain Cleric. It has gone through 4 different incarnations at this point to get where it is today. We've revised Combat Medic, which is the subclass that me and Bear worked on together. We've revised that countless times to get it to where it is. So we've definitely taken it to the drawing board a couple of times to make sure we come up with stuff that's fair, but also fun.
Oh, absolutely. And right now I'm just accessing the document. I still have it as the JTRRR. So let's go onto Google Drive. So I'm just going to move that over here. So please be patient while I load this up. Google Drive. And this is going to be under shared with me. There. And so far, since before, when it was the Journeyman's Tome for Runes, Riches, and Regulations, there was 25 different edits for that. But then when it got revamped to the Journeyman's Guide to Adventurers, then it went through 31 additional revisions as well. So, as you can see, he's definitely taken it very seriously in terms of playtesting. All right, so that should be loaded up perfect. Now, that's not going to be the official artwork for it yet. That's just going to be a stand-in while he gets something commissioned. But over here, just to give you an idea of what everything's going to look like. This is the current list of subclasses. The reason why I have this is because, like I said, this first character is going to be the Combat Medic. So we're going to scroll all the way down to Fighter here. That's Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter right here. Okay. And we are looking for Combat Medic. Okay. But before we even get to that, we have to build our character from first level upwards. But like I said, we're going to have this as a level 10 character. Journey, by the way, do you want us to max out the health, or do you want us to do rolls for health?
Let's go max. Make it easy today.
Okay. All right, so there's nothing too much to sweat about then. So, this website that I have up here, the D&D 5e Wikidot. There's a couple different websites that you can use for determining how to look up the different classes, the different abilities, and all that. I like to use Wikidot. That's just been the easiest one to interact with for me. Other people might like D&D Beyond. This is just my preference. All right, so we're looking at over here. So class features, this is usually the first thing that you want to reference to before you even get to the whole list over here. So class features, like I said, so the hit dice is going to be 1d10 per fighter level. 1d10 right there. Now, the best part about fighters is that they're proficient in pretty much everything. All armor, all shields, and they even get a puppy and a potted plant. So, now, what I did before while he was talking about the Journeyman's Guide was I added in proficiency. So over here on Roll20, the compendium. This is where you can look up everything within Roll20 that's in the D&D SRD. That's the system reference document, if I'm correct.
Are there system reference document or standard reference document?
Yeah, something like that. But basically, this is where you're going to find your proficiencies and all that. The best part about this is that if it's not in the SRD and you need to add it in, you can manually input. But we're not going to worry about that right now. So, where was I? Oh, yes, armor. So, for all armor, so that's going to be light armor, medium armor. And you see it's already automatically updating right there. Heavy armor. Proficiencies here, heavy armor. And then for weapons, you have your martial weapons. And why am I blanking on the other term for it? It was martial and what else?
Simple.
There we go. Simple, like my brain.
Brain go burr.
Brain does go burr, especially after the gym. My head does not like thinking after the gym. Okay. So for tools, so sometimes certain classes will get tool proficiencies, like alchemist supplies, poisoner's kits, stuff like that. Range, bro. What happened? Oh, is my audio too loud? Okay. All right, so saving throws. So each class is going to have a proficiency in certain kinds of saves. So for fighters, it's going to be strength and constitution. That will be important later on. And Journey might throw at me some stuff that I might even be bad in just to make me suffer.
What? No, never.
You see, that's confirmation that he hates me. So we get to choose 2 skills from the current list for fighters for proficiency. So this is going to be the things that they kind of excel at skill-wise. So you can choose between acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, survival. Me personally, I always love doing perception. Perception is going to be awareness of your surroundings, being able to pick up details in a big picture. Ooh, where are we? Right there. And then we're going to go with insight. Insight's really good for determining if someone is lying to you, deceiving you, hiding something. You know, stuff along those lines. Then you have your starting equipment. Now, there's 2 different ways to do character creation. The easiest way to do it is starter equipment. The other way is predetermined gold, which that you can find within the documents of D&D. Each class will have a certain amount of starting gold that you'd have to roll for. So I like doing it like this. So the first thing, you have a choice of chain or leather armor, longbow, and 20 arrows. I personally love leather armor. I feel like you can never go wrong with that.
Just for reference, in case you missed it, starting equipment's going to be different. Look in Roll20 chat.
Oh, okay. Let me take a look. Since we are starting at level 10, starting gold and equipment, 500 gold pieces plus 1d10 times 25 gold pieces, 1 common or uncommon magic item, normal starting equipment. All right, so we'll do the normal starting equipment, and then we'll get onto what all of this is. So, like I said, we're going to go with leather armor, longbow, and 20 arrows. Because leather armor is good for, especially if you want to stealth. The downside of chain is, even though you'll have slightly more armor class, which armor class determines how hard you are to hit or how easy you are to hit, When you're sneaking with chain, you'll have disadvantage because chain's going to clink around a lot. Not exactly for the ones who want to sneak up behind people. Items, Longbow. So that's going to pop up right over here in attacks and spellcasting. And you see that everything's already populated for you. Now, with longbows, they're going to use your dexterity for determining to hit and for damage as well. So because he's proficient in it, at level 10, it's your dexterity plus your proficiency. That makes it 7. The type of damage that a longbow does, 1d8. The plus 3 comes from the dexterity as well. So the higher your stat is for that, you can do slightly a little bit more base damage as well. And we're going to need some arrows. Add that in right there. And that's going to be 20 arrows. Okay, so we're currently holding 13 pounds. Not too bad. On to the next. So we get a martial weapon and a shield, or 2 martial weapons. So for martial weapons... should pop up over here. Okay. Perfect. So here you'll have a nice big table for, for all of the weapons that you'd ever want. Or at least a good starting set. If you ever wanted different things like katanas or the weapons like scythes, I would always recommend work with your dungeon master and see what you can figure out. As for Journey, we have figured out some stuff for different kinds of weapons that doesn't show on the table. But for my combat medic, we're going to go with probably a martial weapon and a shield. Reason why is because with this build, I'm going to want to go pure reach. So under martial weapons, right here, I'm going to go for glaive. The reason why is because it's a heavy weapon that you'll need 2 hands for, but it gives you reach. So for whatever your reach is, you get to add an additional 5 feet. So combine that together with Bugbear, and you have an extra 10 feet of reach. So you have around you a 15-foot radius that you can attack creatures in.
Combat medic with a glaive, where have I seen that before?
Shut up, Nick. You definitely have never seen it before. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Alright, so we'll throw in the shield right here. That should automatically modify it, but what we're going to do is we're going to essentially unequip it. Hold on, does that? Okay, good. So it doesn't change the weight, which is good, but we want it unequipped because this character is going to be mostly using the glaive. So he's not going to have the AC benefit from the shield. Unless he grew extra arms. But I doubt that's going to happen. And for the glaive, bam. Nice and easy. Now on to the next one, which is going to be a light crossbow and 20 bolts, or 2 hand axes. I'm going to go with 2 hand axes because he already has the longbow. And since it's 2 hand axes, we're just going to edit that to 2 of them right there. He's already carrying 29 pounds. So when it comes to starting equipment, it can be a little rough right off the bat in terms of carrying capacity. But you learn to manage and get everything. Now, you have the option for the last piece of equipment as a Dungeoneer's pack or an Explorer's pack. Now, you can look up online to see what's the specific contents of a Dungeoneer's pack versus an Explorer's pack. For me, it's always been the go-to to do the Explorer's pack. Because that's going to have your bedrolls, it's going to have your rations, it's going to have all that. The Explorer's pack. And if you open it, like I said. So, backpack, bedroll, mess kit, tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin, and 50 feet of rope. And tacking that on. How much does the Explorer's pack weigh again? Because it never inputs the weight.
It's 59, but it doesn't have a weight because it's a bag, so it doesn't give you an extra weight. Everything's held within the pack.
That is fair. Okay. Okay, so now we got through the equipment part. Now we can start referencing the table right here because we're going to go through level to level up until 10th level. So we're gonna have to worry about all that. So from the first level, you get a fighting style and second wind. So fighting style, this is essentially going to be all modifiers based on how you want your character to fight. With fighters, they have the most amount of fighting styles that they can adopt. So for my combat medic, we're going to go with... I believe I usually go great weapon fighting when I do heavy weapons. So basically, how this works is when attacking with the glaive, if I roll, for example, a 1, let's go back here. If you roll a 1 or 2, while wielding a weapon with 2 hands, you can re-roll the die and you must use the new roll. So essentially, it gives you an extra chance to do just a little bit more damage. My face is frozen? Oh, well, we're just going to... Well, for some reason it's frozen and it's not working. But the chat will be delayed. I believe there's always like a 5-second delay, something like that. Okay. So there's a bit of a lag when it comes to interacting with my stream settings, but I was able to turn the camera off. So let me know if that works or not for you. But yeah, so we're going to go with great weapon fighting because I want to kind of lean into the mechanics of the glaive. So fighting style. Great weapon fighting. Oh. Great weapon fighting. And that source is going to be from the class Fighter. First level. We like to keep everything organized and compartmentalized. Because that way when you close there, it's going to show you right over here, class Fighter, first level. Just in case you do forget. Now, we reference this again. So, we also get Second Wind. Second Wind is pretty useful for the fighter. Essentially, you have an option for a bonus action. We'll get into the action economy once after character creation. But Second Wind, it lets you recover some hit points. And the fighter can do this once per short or long rest. So think about that as like anywhere from 1 to maybe 3 times a day. The fighter can do it. But they're definitely going to have to take a break before they do it again. Second Wind. Class. Fighter. First level. And good old copy and paste. So what I like to do for that is I usually like to put that in here as well. Second Wind. Now that's not going to be an attack. We'll simply count that as damage. And it's going to be 1d10. We're not modifying it this way, but we're modifying it per level. So if we're doing 10th level, it's going to be 1d10 plus 10. So you're healing for at least 11 or at most 20. So not too bad. And if you do that, see, shows up right here. And so when testing that out, if you click that, it shows up right here. And see, minimum is 11 right there. 11 being the holy number. All hail 11.
Disagree.
Well, everyone has the right to be wrong. All right, so now on to second level. So second level, since we're doing max health, we're going to first increase health. So goes on to the plus modifier. We get Action Surge. Action Surge is a pretty notable part of fighters. This essentially lets them get an additional action. So in terms of action economy, they can attack again. That's most likely what it's used for. Action Surge, bam. And they get that at second level. Copy paste that. Bam. Now, at second level, that's all the fighters get. At third level, that's when they get their fighter archetype. So that's where we're gonna reference the Journeyman's Guide. But first, again, we leveled up, so always remember to increase the health. Trust me, you always want to increase health. Now, over here, Combat Medic. Now, if I remember correctly, I always have to reformat it a little bit every single time. So, we'll get into the spell casting in a second for Combat Medics. You get also Divine Transfusion, and you get First Responder. Alright, so Divine Transfusion, right here. Let's copy and paste this. You've learned in dire situations to tend to your allies by channeling your divine power outwards. As an action, you can evoke healing energy that can restore a number of hit points equal to 5 times your fighter level. Choose any creature within 30 feet of you and divide those hit points amongst them. This feature can restore a creature to no more than half its health maximum. You can't use this feature on an undead or construct. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. At 15th level, it gets upgraded. You can use this feature twice per long rest. So we're going to add that over here. Bam. Divine Transfusion. Transfusion. There we go. Spelling, for some reason, just didn't want to agree. So the idea behind the Combat Medic was that a lot of other classes have subclasses where they can do healing, where they can do support. And while the fighters do have the subclass for support, they never had much of an option for healing. So that's where the idea came in. Combat Medic.
The basis for Combat Medic is a halfway point between Cleric and Fighter, but also not trying to step on the toes of Paladin.
Oh yeah. Because the Paladin is also very much known to be a fighter and cleric hybrid as well. Yeah, so if we leave this alone like that, it kind of does this weird thing. So normally we format it, but to save time, because I don't want to take forever for you guys, I'm just going to leave it as is. So 5 times fighter level. So currently right now, if this character does Divine Transfusion, they have a pool of 50 health points that they can distribute amongst people to heal. Now, the other thing that they get also is First Responder. You gain proficiency in the medicine skill. So we're going to tack that on just like that. Right here. So that's all you really get from 3rd level. Now, onto the spellcasting part of this, though. So for this, let's see. Spell slots. What was the... right here. So you know 3 first level cleric spells of your choice, 2 of which must choose from the necromancy and evocation spells in the cleric list. Now, for a lot of people, that's going to be a lot of looking up, but if you go on... There's a couple different websites that can help you with looking up all the different spells. There we go, perfect. 5e Tools is my favorite for this. Spells. Reason why? Because you can do a bunch of filters. So just like this. So we're looking at cleric spells, that's evocation and necromancy. And it sorts it on just like that. So let's go back here. So we also know 2 cantrips, and we'll know 3 spells. We have 2 first level spell slots. So first we're going to have to format this. Because it's a custom homebrew class, use custom class. Oh no, sorry. Oh no, yeah. So we just have to do... Where are we here? There was one of these options that allowed spellcasting. Hold on. Well, I think it's Arcane Fighter, essentially. Spells. Let's just double check, because at 10th level, if we look at that, that's going to be 4 and 3. That's going to be 4 and 3. Oh, perfect. That works. All right, so you can do Arcane Fighter, and that works perfectly for the Combat Medic. Spellcasting ability is going to be Wisdom with the Combat Medic. There, that's a lot of notifications. All right, so let's look at the cantrips first. So what kind of cantrips would I want to use for this? Sacred Flame is a pretty solid one. So this one, it's not that you're trying to hit the creature that you're targeting. It's that they have to try and essentially dodge that. So we're going to go with that. So Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame right here. As long as it's in the compendium, you can just click and drop, and it's going to pop up right over here for you. The next one we're going to do is, let's see. I feel like light will always be useful, because especially for those who don't have dark vision. Light right there. And I believe, yeah, it's 2 cantrips. So that's all we need to know currently. Now onto the leveled spells. So we know 3 spells at first level. So we're definitely going to take Cure Wounds, because again, we want to do this as more of a support class. So Cure Wounds right here. Spare the Dying is always solid. So basically, if a character is in the process of dying, Spare the Dying will stabilize them. Click and drag that right over here. Oh wait, oh, sorry. Sorry. That's not the leveled spell. Apologies. Alright. So instead we're going to do Healing Word. Healing Word right there. Perfect. Now we get one more option. So I could do Guiding Bolt, or I could do Inflict Wounds. I want a little bit of offense with my spells, so we're going to also do Inflict Wounds. Because what he giveth, he also taketh, in terms of health. Alright, so that's our current lineup for the spells. Now onto 4th level for the fighters. So 4th levels, you get an ability score improvement, and you get an optional ability of Martial Versatility. So if we look at Martial Versatility, right here, it essentially lets you replace a fighting style to any fighting style that's available to fighters. Or if you have any maneuvers, such as when you do the Battle Master subclass, you can replace one with a different maneuver. We're not going to worry about that right now, because I'm pretty set in terms of fighting style with this character. So the additional thing, the ability score improvement. So you can either do, you can pick 2 stats to increase by 1. You can choose 1 stat to increase by 2, or you can always do a feat for the character. So for this character, we are actually going to choose a feat. And the feat that we're going to go with, because this is going to be more of a in-your-face support healer. To start off this healer build, we're going to go with the healer feat. And this is going to give more versatility in terms of healing, because aside from your spells, now you'll be able to use a healer's kit to, instead of just restore someone from 0 to 1, you'll be able to do some actual healing with those kits. So, healer, bam, feat, ASI, 4th level. Right there. So, basically, the healer... Oh, there we go. What happened there? Healer's kit. We're not trying to attack with that. And that is going to be 1d6 plus 4 plus the amount of hit die that a creature has. So 1d6 plus 4. Now, since most likely we're going to be doing this on other characters, all the other characters are going to be level 10 for this instance. So that's 10 plus 4, so that's 14. So 1d6 plus 14. So if we go back here, perfect. Shows just like that. collapse that. Now we're going to go back to here. And also, as always, increase the health. Never forget that. Now on to 5th level. This is another big portion of the fighter. You get extra attack. Extra attack every time you take the attack action, you get to make an additional attack. That's the thing that the fighters are known for, is when they hit, they essentially keep hitting. That's going to be from the class. Fighter, 5th level. Just like that. And as you see, as their level goes up, they get more extra attacks. Okay. And did we raise the health for this? Nope. Always remember to do that. While I'm making this character journey, is there anything that you want to note of importance when it comes to character creation?
You've kind of been hitting all the points at the moment. For now, I'm working on the other side of things as the DM for tonight is monster stat blocks, which are significantly simpler than working with players, as everything is kind of preset for you.
Mm-hmm. Chivix Bree, welcome, by the way. Thank you for following. You were saying, Journey?
At this point, it's really just me taking the time to copy over the stat blocks we're going to be needing for tonight.
Perfect. And we'll see. Hopefully he has some interesting monsters that he'll throw at us.
We definitely have an interesting selection today.
Okay. So, at 6th level, you get another ability score improvement. So I want to actually start building my character to start hurting a little bit more. Have a little bit more ability too. So we're going to raise that strength from a 16 to an 18. That brings a modifier up to a 4. And you're going to see that kind of cascades down. So the glaive, the hand axe, the modifiers go up with that as well. All right, let's see. Then over here, perfect. So that was 6th level. And we increased the health already. Always take it step by step when it comes to increasing the health, especially when you're new to it. Just go level by level. Now, 7th level, you get another martial archetype feature for the fighter. So let's reference, again, the Journeyman's Guide for Adventurers. So, at 7th level, you get Sword and Suture. So let's reference down here. During your battles, you develop the endurance to push past the limitations of your spells to further aid your team. When you cast a spell that would cause a creature to regain hit points, you can make a weapon attack as a bonus action. It's pretty solid, because if you don't have feats or abilities like this, if you do healing, that's pretty much it for your turn, unless your healing is a bonus action. So this gives you a little bit more versatility so you can stay in the fight. Class. Fighter, there we go. Combat Medic. 7th level. Now, normally this process doesn't take me as long, but for the sake of explanations, I'm trying to take it step by step for you guys. Simply that way, also, you guys can be familiar with what the abilities are going to be while we tackle everything in mid-combat. That way, I'm not just saying, oh, I'm going to do Divine Transfusion, then I'm going to make an attack, then I'm going to make this, and you guys are lost with everything.
Also giving me a chance to finish getting everything ready for our game.
Yes. All right, 8th level, another ability score improvement. Now, the notable thing also with fighters is fighters out of all classes get the most ability score improvements. So even though the abilities that they get are more mundane, it's more about attacking, it's more of a one job kind of thing with fighters, they can also have some of the highest stats and most versatility because of that. They can also have the most amount of feats because, again, you can trade your ability score improvements for feats. But we're going to use that ability score improvement to then turn that 16 in dexterity to an 18. Now, what does that affect? Aside from your saves and aside from your dex skills, that's going to affect your dexterity and your armor modifier as well. So it went from, with leather is 11 plus your dexterity. That's why it went from a 14 to a 15. All right, now over here. Now at 9th level, by the way, we've been having to raise the health. We've been doing max health, so it's been even easy to track. It's essentially the level times 11 because I have not raised Constitution at all for this. So at 9th level, we get Indomitable. Let's go all the way down to Indomitable. So Indomitable, if you fail a save, with Indomitable, you can choose to re-roll it. Indomitable. Perfect. Class. Fighter. 9th level. Indomitable just right there. Okay. And then 10th level. This is why I'm very happy we chose 10th level. Another martial archetype feature. And with the combat medic, one of my favorite abilities. So, we're going to have to do a little bit of that. So, you have achieved such heightened medical prowess that you are able to react to your adversary's attempt to restore their life force. As a reaction, when a creature within 30 feet of you uses an action or bonus action that would cause itself or another creature to regain hit points, you can magically prevent those hit points from being regained. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Additionally, you gain resistance to radiant damage. So, in terms of what this last line before the long rest was, that basically means we get to use this ability currently 4 times before we're going to have to take a long rest and recharge the amount of uses. And I'm pretty sure I copied and pasted that, but I'm just going to double check. So that was Shield and Stave. That's what the ability was called. And again, it's a little wonky because we're going from home brewery onto here. If you want to format it so that's a lot neater, you can. But again, for saving time, I don't want to do that for you guys. Okay. And that's 10th level. So that goes from 119 to Mathman, 99 plus 11, please.
110.
Thanks. He is also the math man, because again, my brain's small, so I like to rely on him for math.
It's what I do.
Yes. All right, so that is it for creating the character from class. Now, another thing that you can do here is a character's background. So here, we'll open up a new tab right there. We'll go to backgrounds. We're just going to scroll randomly and see what we get. Hillsfar Smuggler. That's what we're gonna get. So I'm already proficient in perception, so we're not gonna worry about that. I'm already proficient in stealth, so we're not gonna worry about that. I get another racial language off of this though. So we're going to go with Dwarven because my inner D&D race in real life is a dwarf. Proficiencies, Dwarvish. There we go. And let's see. I also get proficiencies in Forgery Kit. Right there. And for equipment, I get a Forgery Kit, set of common clothes, a belt pouch, and 5 gold. We're going to note down that 5 gold. And we're going to note down the Forgery Kit. The common clothes, I usually ignore. Because everyone wears common clothes, pretty much. Unless you're a noble and you want to look all bougie and all that. Secret Passage. For this one, you can secure a secret passage into or out of Hillsfar for yourself or for your adventuring companions. So this is more for, what is this campaign called? The Adventurers League Rage of Demons. So, because we're doing a more homebrew setting, I'm not going to worry about this feature. But when it comes to in campaigns, your background features can actually play importance. Let me actually go to Sage so I can show you. So with the Sage background, their feature researcher, when you attempt to learn or recall a piece of lore, if you do not know that information, you often know where and from whom you can obtain it. Usually this information comes from a library, scriptorium, university, or a sage, or other learned person or creature. Your DM might rule that the knowledge you seek is secreted away in an almost inaccessible place, and that it simply cannot be found. Unearthing the deepest secrets of the multiverse can require an adventure, or even a whole campaign. So the researcher is good for example, when you're campaign, you're trying to figure out what's next, and you got a little bit of a hint, like, oh, let's say it's a crown and a mural. Oh, you can ask your DM, hey, DM, would I know where to find the information on historical iconography about crowns? And then the DM will respond promptly. All right, and so we did Hills Far Smaller. For alignment, we're going to do chaotic neutral because that's going to give you the most leeway of just doing whatever you want. You can be chaos incarnate and not have to worry too much about repercussion. As far as character name, we're going to name him Phil. Phil, let's see. Journey, give me a last name. There we go. Phil the Third. Esquire.
No, I suck at coming up with names on the spot.
I know, I just went based off of the first sound you made. So Phil the Third, Esquire. Here we go. There we go, with 2 H's. Alright. So as far as this character, they're pretty much set. Now, what you can always do if you want, you can always go onto Pinterest or anything like that if you don't have artwork already commissioned for your character, and you can upload the artwork. Let's go back. I simply wanted to have this open just so I can show where I got it from, because I do not want to claim this as my artwork at all. So for this, we'll put this in downloads. Now what we like to do to try and keep things nice and easy is we go into this website, rolladvantage.com/tokenstamp. And this is going to give us a nice format for the character tokens. So that's what it's going to look like. So first we're going to do that. We'll do that. And we're going to move him down a little bit just so that we can get the face nice and present. All the main features right there. Going to download that. And now we're going to go to bio and info. I'm going to edit that. Click to upload. Do the token right there. It's going to upload right there. Now, also over here, if you want to add a little bit of backstory, a little bit of information, that's going to pop up right there. So if there's other people in your campaign on Roll20, they click on it, that's all they'll see right there, that little bio. So he is pretty set. So we're going to put him right there for now. Now, when you have it out here, you're going to see these little values. Now you can put whatever values you want on these. Typically, Journey and I like to do it as follows. Health, then speed, then armor class. That's just the easiest way for us to track things. So his health is 110, his speed is 30, and for his armor class, what is his armor class again? Hold on. 15. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one I'm going to do a little bit more rushed, simply because I don't want to take up too much time on character creation, because we're already about an hour into the stream and we've only gotten one character in. So this time we're going to go with a ranger. Once this loads up. Perfect. So for this ranger, we're going to go with a wood elf. That's going to be one of the most common combinations, simply because stat-wise, that's the best benefit you get. Dexterity and wisdom, which is typically what you want to focus as a ranger. Character sheet. So you have the option for Charactermancer. I don't really like using Charactermancer because I prefer inputting everything manually, making sure that everything's nice and neat, organized. If you need to make an NPC, you can also make the NPC like this as well, but edit sheet directly. We're going to choose Ranger. Now, I want to see with the Journeyman's Guide if we can look at a Ranger here and see if we can go off that. Ooh, subclasses, here we are. So we have the Dream Strider and the Skydancer. So I vaguely remember the Dream Strider, so because I don't know the Skydancer so much, we're going to try that out. Oh, did I pass it? LMNOPQR. No, right here. Skydancer. Okay. This is going to be 10th level. Input that. Subclass. So it's the Skydancer Conclave. That's what subclasses are called for Rangers. For race, Elf, Wood. And we're just going to quickly pump out the background. We're going to say that they're a Sage, simply because I have this open. So go to background here, Sage. We're going to do another Chaotic Neutral, just for ease. Now, with Sage, you get Arcana, History, and you get 2 languages of your choice. So Arcana, History, 2 languages. We're going to go with Goblin. That way our combat medic can't talk about us behind our back. Oh, sorry. Cancel. Proficiencies. Goblin. There we go. And we're going to go... We're going to go Dwarven. Dwarvish. Sorry. Because of what else, as you'll see here for languages, Common and Elvish. So you start out with 4 languages because of the combination of race and background, which is not too bad. So we are going to go... We're going to go with how Tasha's did Ranger. Because there's 2 different ways. You can either go base Ranger, based off of the player's handbook, or Tasha's gives you essentially alternatives for how to have your Ranger abilities. So this is going to replace your favorite enemy. So now we're not going to worry about favorite enemy. We're going to worry about this. Favorite foe. But first, before I even forget, shame on me, we're going to put all this. So with a Wood Elf, you have your speed as 35. Proficiency in longsword, short bow, short sword, and longbow. And Mask of the Wild. Mask of the Wild is if you are lightly obscured by foliage, by natural phenomena, you can try and hide. Mask of the Wild. Racial. Innate. Copy paste. Collapse that. Good. Alright. Now we're going to quickly pump out these stats. Oh, looks like I already did. So there's that. And perfect. We're going to give this one just a little bit more help. Oh, we're way past this. Sorry. Let's do that. Perfect. Perfect. Even that out. Even that out. Even that out. I still have a little bit of distribution I can give. So what I can do, if I wanted to, is I can keep that charisma at a negative, and I have more points to allocate to other things. Just like that. And so I may have a negative, but I have more than just +3s. I'll also have a +2 as well. So it's 10, 16, 14. 10, 16, 14.
I'll be right back. I'm grabbing water.
Have fun. Then 10, 16, 8. 10, 16, 8. And again, you see everything automatically populate to what your corresponding ability modifier is. So now we've taken care of this. Now Fate Ancestry. So you have advantage against being charmed, and magic cannot put you to sleep. Right there. Trance. So elves do not need to sleep. They can do a 4-hour trance, and as long as they rest for the other 4 hours, that's going to be their long rest. Alright, so that one I know is a bot. We're going to ban that. We're going to ban that. Yeah. Alright. Keen senses. You have proficiency in perception. So we're going to put that right there. Perfect. And let's see. And also dark vision. Right there. So Transfusion. Okay. So we have everything that we need to worry about off of that. Now we move on to this. So back onto Favored Foe. So with Favored Foe, essentially, once you've hit a target, you can mark it your favorite foe, and you get to do extra damage to it. And the dice is determined based off of your level. So that's going to be class, and that's going to be ranger. Oh, sorry. Bam. There we go. So currently, if we're level 10, so right now our favored foe damage is going to be 1d6. So we're going to put that in right now. Favored foe. That's going to be automatic damage of 1d6. No modifier to that, so we're going to put that, and it's going to show just like that.
I just experienced real life lag.
What happened?
I went to get water. I came back with a banana.
Nice. All right. So, at first level, you could have gotten Natural Explorer, but we're going to go with Deft Explorer because, again, we're going to go the Tasha's route. With Deft Explorer, it gives you different abilities based off of your level. So, first level, you get Canny, so you get more proficiencies, you get an expertise, and you get 2 additional languages. At 6th level, walking speed increases again, and you gain a climbing speed and swimming speed equal to that. So our speed now is going to be 40 right off the bat for that. We're going to get 1 more proficiency. So first with Ranger, by the way, we should put in over here. So 3 from Animal Handling, Athletics, Insight, Investigation, Nature, Perception, Stealth, and Survival. So with Rangers, I always like to do Survival because I always view them as the survival experts when you're in the forest, desert, anywhere you are. Then we're going to do Investigation. Right there. And last but not least, Nature. Because you are a ranger, you should know what your surroundings are. You should know the local flora, the fauna, all that. Now, based off of your first your first level ability with Deft Explorer, choose one of your proficiencies. Your proficiency is doubled for that. So we're going to choose Perception to be doubled. So for Hero Roll 20, what you have to do is go to here to Settings, then Perception, Expertise. And you'll see that that's already modified. Now, you're going to notice that this over here, your Passive Wisdom, Passive Perception, as your character is roaming around, they're not going to be always attentive to everything. It's more going to be things that they just notice while their mind is on something else. That's your passive perception. So the higher your perception modifier is, the higher your passive perception, because your passive perception is 10 plus your perception right here. So 10 plus 11, 21. Roving there, good. And also an additional 2 languages. So we're going to look at languages. You know what, let's just look at 5e languages list. Alright, so I'm going to stick with standard languages for now. So we're going to go with knowing Orc and knowing... Yeah, Orc and Giant. And Giant. So you see, we already have a nice long list of languages that this character knows. Okay. Right here. Now the hit dice for this is going to be the D10. So same thing, we're going to be maxing out health. So at first level, that's going to be 12 health. So because we're going to keep the Constitution modifier the same all throughout the levels, we're going to simply just have that as 120 health. Okay. Now, second level, you get a fighting style as a ranger. You also get spellcasting and your spellcasting focus as an option. So for your fighting style, with rangers, I usually keep them focused with long range combat with a longbow or a crossbow. So I usually do archery for that. You also have a bunch of other different options. So it all really depends on how you want to play your character. You see defense, where they get more armor class based on if they're wearing armor. 2-weapon fighting, where this is going to be that ranger, kind of like when you've seen the pictures of Drizzt with the 2 weapons, the 2 swords in hand. Unarmed fighting, if you want him to be more of a bare-knuckle brawler. Let me just get some water. Always remember to hydrate. Did you guys drink water today? You better have.
I refuse.
Drink water, boy.
I literally just went to get water.
Drink more.
I'll think about it.
Drink more. Yeah. Bam. Second level. Right there. Perfect. You also get your spellcasting. Spellcasting we will worry about later with Ranger because they are going to know more spells. Third level, Primeval Awareness or Primal Awareness. And you also start to get your subclass stuff. So we're going to go based off of Primal Awareness. Okay. Right here, this is the optional. So that's basically going to be extra spells. So we'll add that on quickly. So Speak with Animals, Beast Sense, and Speak with Plants. That's what we'll add right now. Speak with Animals. Add that in. And that should be perfect. Beast Sense. Roll20 is being a little slow. That's fine. Beast Sense. We'll have to add that in manually. We will not worry about that right now. Speak with Plants. In case you ever want to talk to that poison ivy and ask them why exactly they gave you that rash.
Because you live a life of sin.
I have done nothing wrong.
Don't lie to me.
I have done nothing wrong. All right.
In mind.
So tell us a little bit about the Skydancer, as you are the one who created the Skydancer.
Yes, the Skydancer was my attempt to make a ranger of the sky, to put it simply. Is a ranger who gets their abilities by some sort of connection to the elemental plane of air, or possibly through one of the air genies whose names are escaping me, or maybe even just a natural connection to the winds of the world that they've drawn upon themselves, and now through that they gain abilities of storms and the ability to fly. Honestly, I feel like they're probably one of the stronger classes in the BGFA. If I had to put a ranking on them, they're definitely in the upper tier.
Yeah, it's pretty solid because you get performance as a proficiency. You also get to add your wisdom modifier to your initiative. So as you see, our initiative is 3 right off the bat. With your wisdom, it's going to be a +6. Pretty solid. So for the initiative modifier, we're simply going to just tack on an extra 3 right there. And that populates as is. Bam. All right. Let's see. Perfect. You also get Skydancer magic. You learn the Gust cantrip if you don't already know it. All right. Well, we're gonna have to add that one in manually as well. So we're not gonna worry about that one right now. You learn additional spells when you reach this class. Each spell counts as a ranger spell, but it doesn't count against the number of spells you know. So again, extra spells that you know. And what is that? What is that?
That was an accident.
Huh. Well, viewers, so that's going to be an important thing. So magic resistance. So some creatures will have that, where essentially if you are a magic caster, you're in for a bit of a rougher time. In terms of monsters out there for D&D, there is just about a monster for every kind of class and every kind of mix to make every encounter just the right level of challenging or the right level of deadly. It all depends. 4th level, ASI. So what we're going to do is, as the ranger, we are going to increase our dexterity, because that's going to increase our 2-hit with our bows. Once I add that in, that's going to increase our initiative, and it's going to increase our armor class as well. I'll put in the equipment in a bit. 5th level, we get extra attack. That we can just memorize because extra attack. All right, now over here, 6th level, we've already done the Deft Explorer improvement. 7th level is going to be another Skydancer ability. Oh, Striking Winds, we forgot about this for 3rd level for Skydancer. Shame on me. So, can you explain to me Striking Winds, Journey?
Let me pull up the PDF so I can explain it better. To Skydancer. Here we go. So, with every ranger subclass, they always have some sort of damage, additional damage that they get at their 3rd level feature. So this was my version of it for the Skydancer. I also gave it, along with it, a little, I guess, extra mobility feature that's kind of like a little bit of a ribbon on top of it. So to start off with, at the start of your turn, if you are not within 5 feet of a hostile creature, you can basically get an extra 5 feet of movement on your turn. So it's a free 5 feet bonus to movement as long as you are not within 5 feet of an enemy. And then additionally, essentially, the winds, the magical winds that you summon upon from your subclass are guiding your strikes and your movements. So first time you hit a creature with a weapon attack on your turn, you deal an extra d6 of whatever weapon you're using, and the extra damage is considered magical for the purposes of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical attacks and damage.
Nice. Everyone likes a little bit of a attack buff every now and then. Skyrise. So what is this?
Skyrise is probably my favorite feature that I've given to the Skydancer, and admittedly, when I first made it, it was kind of broken, because I definitely overtuned it at first. So, call upon the winds of the world to carry you. As a bonus action, you can summon a current of wind to lift you 15 feet into the air where you hover. While you are hovering on the wind, you can add your wisdom modifier, a minimum of a +1, to any attack roll you make against a creature that is at least 5 feet below you. At the start of your next turn, unless you choose to use this feature again, the wind carefully descends you back to the ground, so you take no fall damage and land on your feet. And while you are descending, you are able to glide, moving 2 feet horizontally for every 1 foot you descend. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So essentially, again, summoning those magical winds that we keep referencing with this subclass, you are able to essentially shoot yourself into the air and hover above your enemies on essentially like a cloud or a gust of wind, however you want to flavor it for your Skydancer. And while you're up there, you have the high ground. Put it in Star Wars terms. You have the high ground above your enemies, so you're able to get that extra edge in your attacks, giving you the ability to add your wisdom modifier to boost your attack rolls.
I love the versatility of that. All right, now on to Land Stride. Land Stride, again, more mobility. Difficult terrain does not impair you as much as normal. Right there, and that is an 8th level ability. What happened?
I almost posted another thing you weren't supposed to say.
No, it's okay. You can post every single ability.
You know, I really feel like you'd rather I didn't.
I mean, probably, but I'm also nosy.
You'll find out when it face checks you.
What?
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 9th level, you get nothing. Now.
All spells, what?
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 Hide in plain sight and Nature's Veil, optional. So hide in plain sight. Let's see what this is. Where are you? So, we're gonna go with the option of it. So you gain no benefit from the replace feature, and you don't qualify for anything in the game that requires it. You draw on the powers of nature to hide yourself from view briefly. As a bonus action, you can magically become invisible, along with any equipment you are carrying or wearing, until the start of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. So I like that option because you are one with nature. You camouflage completely. You know what that kind of reminds me of? The Hunger Games with what's his face, PETA?
Yeah.
And that ability was called, what again? Nature's Veil. Ranger. 10th level. Okay, now we're going to put on that equipment from the Ranger. So, leather armor, obviously, because leather armor is my favorite. Well, if I have the option for studded leather, I always go studded leather. Alright. 2 short swords or 2 simple melee weapons. We're going to go with 2 short swords. Yeah. Short bow or short swords? Don't mind if I do. 2. Bam. Okay. Then Dungeoneers or Explorers pack. Again, I've always said my bias towards the Explorers pack. So, needless to say, that's what we get. Now, Rangers as a given get a longbow and a quiver of 20 arrows. Now, the one thing to always keep in mind is keeping track of your ammo, especially with bows and crossbows. That is something that even us experienced players will sometimes forget to do.
It's unfortunately true.
Yes. And you also get a quiver with this as well, so don't forget that. You get your quiver. Your quiver is going to be what holds those 20 arrows. Because if not, then you're going to have to rummage through your bag and hopefully not stab yourself. Okay. So we have all that. In terms of proficiencies, we don't have to worry about that. Good. Okay. Now we're just going to quickly populate some spells. So we're going to go back to here. We're going to clear these search limitations and filter it out for Ranger. Good. And see right here. So we are a 10th level Ranger. So what that means is we're going to know 6 spells. And these are our spell slots. So let's try and do a nice mix. So we're going to try and do 2, 2, and 2. 2, 4, 6. So 2 spells of each level. So Cure Wounds is always a solid thing for a Ranger to have. Because since they are very mobile, they can get in and out of the battlefield pretty easily. Now, after that, let's see. Ensnaring Strike. I've actually never looked at this one too much. The next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, a writhing mass of thorny vines appears at the point of impact, and the target must succeed on a strength save or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends. I think I'm actually going to go with that. Ensnaring Strike.
Definitely, it's a solid spell.
Ensnare. There we go. Oh, that's not in SRD, it looks like. So, now I can show you how to actually manually input something then. So, what you're going to do is you're going to press that plus like I did before. You're going to change the name right there. This is a first level conjuration spell. So, for school, we change that to conjuration. Casting time is 1 bonus action. The range is self. So you can only cast this on yourself. You cannot cast it on other people. The components is going to be V. V is verbal. So basically, when you're casting the spell, you are your character, and you can flavor this as however you like. Like they have to do a chant for the spell. And for the duration, it's concentration up to a minute. So once we get into combat, you will probably see what concentration is and how it plays a factor. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have at least made 2 of the characters before I started the stream. All right.
That happens.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but I also went to the gym and all that, so it is what it is.
So this is just day 1. Consider this is session 0. You know.
Yeah. And you know, and most of the time you'll also realize that your session 0s will be character creation, getting to know one another, especially if it's new players and all that, and just, you know, scoping out what the campaign is going to be like. So if I do Ensnaring Strike. Oh boy, this bot. There we go. Oh, lovely. AJ, welcome, welcome.
Ooh.
Okay. So we're gonna have to. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Restrained by the spell takes 1d6 piercing at the start of each of its turns. So we're gonna have to put in a strength save and a 1d6. So spellcasting ability is wisdom or spell. It's gonna be an attack. Damage 1d6. And what kind of damage is it? It is piercing damage. Right there. Saving throw. That's gonna be strength. And the rest is going to be right here. Done. So if you go to core, Ensnaring Strike right there. Perfect. Well, almost forgot. For the Longbow, because of our fighting style, we get to add a +2 to hit. So that goes from a +9 to a +11. Rangers are known very much, even though they have similar fighting styles to fighters, Rangers are known for almost never missing. Okay, so I've added Cure Wounds and I've added Ensnaring Strike for first level onto second level spells. So we're going to go down to second level spells. And what do we want? We're going to go with Pass Without Trace. That's always a great thing for stealth. Right there, perfect. Basically what that does is that gives you a +10 to your stealth checks. And another favorite of mine is Spike Growth. That one.
You don't need either of those.
What happened?
You don't need either of those.
What do you mean?
Nah, you don't need them.
What's wrong?
Nah, get rid of them.
It's okay. And now into third level spells. Let's see. So looking at this, that goes from Conjure Animals all the way to Windwall. We're going to go easy on Journey. So we're going to do Lightning Arrow. I mean, would you prefer me to do Conjure Animals?
For the sake of time, don't.
Exactly.
That's just a time thing, dude.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have to input extra stat blocks.
Oh, I know. See, this is why we probably should have used the arena. Roll 20 for it, though.
To be fair, every stat block that I'm doing right now, none of them are in the arena.
Ooh, interesting.
This is not a single creature I'm using tonight that is in the arena.
Highly suspicious. I'm very scared. And that is, I already forgot this goal. Transmutation, 1 bonus action. Transmutation, 1 bonus action. Transmutilation, what? Nani? And what's the range on that? That's got to be another self, and that's going to be verbal and somatic. So somatic is going to be hand gestures. So whether they're doing little Naruto hand signs or whatever you want, it's always up to you. That's the great thing about D&D is that when it comes to like the verbal and somatic components or like how a character looks and all that, you can always flavor text it how you like. You don't have to feel limited by, oh, well, it's a medieval setting or whatever. So no, if you want to make the somatic gestures look like Doctor Strange's magic circles, go ahead. There's nothing stopping you.
Literally in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, they show a farmer who's able to cast magic missiles, flavoring his missiles to look like chickens.
Exactly. See? Okay, now for Lightning Arrow, concentration up to 1 minute. I'm gonna put in all that. Takes 4d8 lightning. And that is a... Let's see, perfect. Okay. So 4d8 lightning initially. And whether you hit or miss, any creatures within 10 feet must make a dex save. Spellcasting ability is Spell. That's going to be 2d8 lightning. Perfect. Oh, sorry. There's also an upcast option for this. So when you cast this at a higher level, it actually augments. So what this does is for each level above second that you upcasted it, it increases the damage by 1d8. D8. Perfect. Perfect. Just like that. Okay. And when it comes to character creation, especially if you're a new player, if you are worried about time, so there are martial classes and there are spellcasting classes. So martial classes, you're going to look more at barbarian, at monk, at fighter. Those are ones who they do not do spells at their base class. Those ones, as long as you copy and paste everything and you already know what you're doing, those are going to be the much more quicker options for making a character. As you're seeing over here with this character creation, any characters that need spells, you have to look through the big spell list that they have, and you have to determine what to do from there. We're going to do Conjure Barrage as a second, third level spell. Conjure Barrage is 9 here. Gotta love the SRD for that.
Conjure Barrage is Xanathars.
Conjure Barrage is PHB.
Is it?
At least that's what 5e Tool says.
Oh, Trust 5e Tool is not me. I'm wrong sometimes. It happens.
It'd be like that sometimes. You know what? This is okay. We're gonna go with Protection from Energy then.
So, I am done with my stat blocks. So, until you are ready, I'm going to go find us music.
All right. What's today's theme gonna be?
Well, as I told you earlier, our theme for today. Well, actually, no. I'm just gonna go ahead and shout out the adventure that I'm using. It is called Eye of the Storm. I was actually able to find it on the DMsGuild. It is by a gentleman known as Stuart, and I'm gonna butcher his last name. I think it's Kehoe, Kehoe. So you are definitely able to pick this up on the DMsGuild. Stuart has it up there for pay what you want, so you can pay whatever you want for it. I put in the recommended $2 for it just to give back to fellow creators out in the community.
And there you have it. That is what we're going to be dealing with today. All right, so I believe...
Of course, I did throw a little of my own flair on it.
Ooh.
You know, change up some things. Can't make it too out of the box.
That's fair, that's fair. You have to special tailor the suffering and the torment to each player.
Just for you.
For you. Yes, exactly. See, when you have a special relationship with a dungeon master, that's when they even more just want to give that extra bit of suffering to your characters. Just that extra bit of spice, one may say.
Yeah, spice. Just swap the C with the T.
All right. So I think I have the ranger all set. All right. So you know what? Do you mind if we only do 2 characters instead of 3?
Sure. Then if that's the case, all right. I think you're gonna need 3 because some of these encounters are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I can at least bang out a sidekick character real quick.
Do you want to bang out a sidekick character then?
Sure.
And while you're doing it, can you explain, please, what a sidekick character is?
Sure, totally. First, let me grab my copy of Tasha's.
Mm-hmm.
So, the reason I'm grabbing my copy of Tasha's is this is where sidekicks were introduced in their full state. Because they were previously introduced, I want to say, in the Adventures kit, I want to say. But basically in Tasha's, they introduced an option for sidekicks, which are essentially a way to turn non-player characters or creatures into exactly what it sounds like, your sidekick. Essentially a weaker version of a player character. They're more dumbed down classes, but they have full level 20 setups that you can make. There's 3 different types. There's the expert, which is kind of like a bard rogue. There is the spellcaster, which allows you to pick from all the different spellcasting categories. And there's the warrior, which is like a dumbed down fighter barbarian, kinda.
Okay. And what
So,
we're going to do is we're
make
going
it
to
easy.
slide this one out over here. And she has 120 health. Health. Her
Easiest one
speed
for
is
us to work
40.
with is gonna be the warrior. So we're just gonna bank the warrior real quick.
Gotcha. Okay.
Actually, no. We'll do an expert because they're also fairly easy, and they'll give you a little bit of assistance out there.
Ooh my, okay. Okay, so I think I have the two characters ready. I gave them quick little pictures that I took off of Pinterest, and as you look through and watch, you'll see exactly where I got them. If you want to pause and see what exactly the pictures were, again, bringing this one up, it shows you the website right here of where this one comes from.
Bear.
What's up?
Remember first the additional stuff you're gonna get for starting equipment
Yes.
for both your characters.
Yes. Now for uncommon items, I believe +1 weapons are uncommon, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, so what we're going to do is for both of these characters, we're just simply just going to give them +1 items, just for simplicity's sake.
Got it.
So what we're going to do is for the Ranger's Longbow, we're going to make that a +1 Longbow, which makes all that magic, all that damage magic. Adds a +1 right there, and it also adds a +1 to damage as well. That's really great because for some creatures that have cough resistant to magic to non-magic weapons, that's gonna be pretty handy. Now for Phil we're gonna give him some magic armor. So we're gonna give him magic studded. Yeah, I think magic studded leather will be fine. So we're going to get rid of this leather armor. We're going to give him studded +1. And that brings his armor class to a 17.
A quick shout out to one of our other campaigns. Your sidekick is going to be a pirate bosun.
Ooh?
Yeah.
What's their name?
What do you want their name to be? Yeah, it's going to be Jericho. Just to annoy you. Jericho McAllen.
That is a reference to our Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign that we do. For people who are inexperienced with D&D, that is more of your high seas pirate life kind of campaign. Okay. So I think we are good. So I can close that out. We're going to have this open for reference because I'm familiar with combat medic since I created it, but the Skydancer I'll need to look over every now and then. We can close that. Close that. We can close this and close that. And also for the combat medic, since he had 500 additional gold, we could say that was towards a couple healers kits.
Couple healers kits. Do you have Revivify?
No, I do not have a Revivify.
All right, you don't have third level spells yet at level 10, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with. We're gonna say just 3 healers kits. That's a solid thing. So each healer's kit has 10 charges. So in total, he has 30 uses of healer's kit, and with that healer's feat, that's pretty useful. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Experts are ridiculous in terms of proficiencies.
Yeah.
They gain 5 skill proficiencies just for becoming a sidekick.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that right there.
We'll give him.
We're going to. Oh, hold on.
We'll give him religion.
Show us tab.
We'll give him.
And we're gonna put that one there.
Deception. Give him insight.
Jericho Mordovano is secretly a pirate in another universe. Interesting concept. Alright. I'm just managing all those notifications there. Perfect.
Four, five, six. One more for him. We'll give him perception. Perception's always solid. At this point, he gets 3 ASIs. Use that to bring up his dex.
And just to go over what I was saying beforehand when I was talking about reach with my combat medic, just so I can show you as reference. So, with other creatures, when they have a sword, for example, their reach is only essentially what's right in front of them. Or if a normal creature like a wood elf or a human has a glaive, they can go out to 10 feet around them. But a bugbear with a glaive gets to go 15 feet because long limbs and a reach weapon. As far as the stats too, I think it's a pretty fair spread for both of them. They both have decent health for what they are at. As far as mobility, one's definitely faster than the other, but that's okay. Let's just look. Yeah, so Phil with studded leather, that's 12 plus. Yep, so 7. So AC 17. I have to fix that. Apologies. There we go. So Phil's a little harder to hit by 1. Whereas Avix's is just a little bit faster and has more health. The combinations with characters are borderline endless, especially when you get into Warlocks. Warlocks is a whole different thing.
Artificer.
Oh yeah, and Artificers too, because they have a whole infusion system as well, where they get to essentially create their own magic items.
Two hits go up 2, and DC's go up. Extra hit die for every level, so we can get an extra 98. He gets 9 health per level, so 9 times 9, he gets 81 health. So that's at 108 hit points. Solid. I'm gonna give you control over your ally.
Nice.
I just gotta add his sidekick abilities in.
Gotcha.
Double proficiency for 2 skills, so give him expertise in perception and expertise in religion. Why not? He's got.
Okay.
This is super good. The expert sidekick can take the help action as a bonus action every turn.
Oh my.
They also get cunning action, ripped straight out of the rogue.
Solid.
Yep.
Ooh. Yeah, I can actually look at the stat block while you're making it.
Yep.
Cargo hauler has advantage on strength checks.
Yes.
Sea legs, advantage on ability checks and saving throws to resist being knocked prone. Nice. Is adept at giving well-timed assistance, can take the help action as a bonus action. Cunning action for rogues is a very solid thing. As a bonus action, you can take dash, disengage, or hide. We'll get into those once combat starts. Coordinated attack. Oh, that looks like basically like a small sneak attack. Evasion is solid.
Also, coordinated strike. You can now use the help action from 30 feet away as a bonus action.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah.
And they have a light hammer and a hook. I love that.
So we're gonna add a coordinated strike button. Extra 2d6.
I'm just
2d6
picturing a bosun swinging their hammer all out against an enemy. Just get off my ship.
2d6 damage.
Nice. Whoa.
Alright. I think that is everything for the... Right, there's 1, 2, 3. Yep, that is everything for them, so that is good. I'm just going to get some music for us, and we will be good to go. I will let you control our friend Jericho, so you can play somewhere wherever you wish.
Absolutely. I'm just going to have them all settled at the campfire for now. Until you tell me otherwise. There we go. Symmetry. Symmetry at its finest. Ah, okay. I see you're using the jukebox for that. I like it.
Oh, yeah. So people will be able to hear it.
Ah, true. Yeah, forget that. Forgot that Discord is fighting us a little bit before.
Yeah.
Symmetry, Death the Kid has entered the chat. Oh yeah? Would Death the Kid like this? No, they would not. They would actually die. And also, yeah, so Freedom of Movement is a good spell, but it's not necessarily a to-do list on a discussion for beginners. If we were talking about optimizing a character, then that might be something for discussion. But right now, this is just a video for beginners to understand what D&D is and how to play it. So, in terms of character creation, you don't even have to have the best character combat-wise. As long as you are enjoying how you made your character, that's what's going to matter at the end of the day. You might
Fun character is better than an optimized character. I would like to remind everyone that I one time played a kobold barbarian with a -2 strength and had an amazing time doing it.
Oh, absolutely. Because sometimes the fun of it is just making wacky combinations that are normally considered like against the norm. And just seeing how that plays out.
My latest wacky hijinks, the Crab Rave Ranger.
Yes. Oh, I cannot wait for you to play that one out.
I cannot wait either. It's gonna be great.
All right, and I'm ready whenever you are.
Almost set. I'm just getting some music for us.
Gotcha. Ooh, I like that. Oh my.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, 5th edition.
Today, episode 0 of One Shot. So, to lay some foundation for you, good sir, on what is currently going on, your group of adventuring party has been traveling through the spine of the world. Over some time, you had heard tales of a pair of cyclopses coming through the area, asking people for all of their medals, and if they were refused, they came in and just took everything by force. That is where you all came in. You came out to here to try and find out what is the situation with these Cyclops.
Okay. Alright, well. With my ranger, what would I know about the area in terms of the Cyclopses?
You would know that Cyclopses aren't well known in this area. It's actually quite strange for them to be in this area. This isn't somewhere that they're normally found.
Okay. And is it safe to assume that this is the camp that we set up ourselves, or is this something that we stumbled upon?
This is actually the remains of a caravan that you stumbled upon.
Okay. So would I be able to use... Let's see. Would I be able to use my ranger Evix's and make a perception check around the area and see if there was signs of a struggle, to see if this was a forcible vacation, or a forcible eviction, to see if essentially they were kidnapped.
Sure.
Seeing as I'm assuming that the fire is still active, or did the fire die away?
The fire is, as you can hear the rain, the fire has died out at this point.
Okay. But still, to have the tent up, to have the bedrolls, it looks like they abruptly left. So as is, wait, no, I got this. So first, you always want to put on these toggles whenever you're about to make rolls. Only because if not, it's going to automatically do it to public or at advantage. You always want to roll at normal unless you have abilities that give you otherwise. So for now, we're going to keep it on normal, and we're going to do a perception check. So we click on perception right there, and it's going to show up right there. So that's a total 20. So remember how... my screen went black, by the way. For the map, yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. It might be because I'm messing with some dynamic lighting.
Ah.
I don't know why it's affecting that map, because I'm on a different map.
Huh.
That's strange.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, so like I said, so perception, your modifier for perception is plus 11 for Vixis. So it being a total 20, that means on the d20, they rolled a 9.
Alright, let me see if this... oh, did I turn it on? Oh? It's actually strange that... I don't know why I would have... I don't even have dynamic lighting turned on for this map.
Huh.
So here, we'll just try this. We'll do this, and... Vision... on... Can you see now?
Yes, I can.
There we go. Alright, there we go. So, also, do you want to turn on the names on the rolls template so I can see which character is rolling?
Yes, of course. So that's also going to be another great thing. So if you go into the settings, it's right going to be in this general options, add character name to templates. I generally like to try and be aware of keeping them on at all times because, watch, to show you as an example, we're going to do an insight just to show you. See? Now it has the character's name right where that check is. But yes, so that perception was done by Vixis.
Yes, so for Vixis's perception check of the camp, taking the time to look, it does seem as though the Cyclops did come through this area. As Vixis is a girl, yes?
Yes.
Vixis, as she was able to notice the pair of Cyclops footprints trotting through the area. And it seems, but one thing of note, the people of this caravan that was abandoned went one direction, but it does not look like the Cyclops chased.
Huh. Which way does it look like they went?
Which way does it look like who went?
The caravan people.
It looks like they kind of just scattered off into the woods, like in different directions out here. Just all across, just scattered and kind of ran.
Okay. And what direction does it look like the Cyclopses went?
This direction.
Which one?
Top left.
Okay, so it looks like they went in that direction. So I feel like we'll be able to actually get somewhere if we follow the Cyclops instead of trying to find the people. Because maybe the Cyclopses are trying to set up an ambush or something like that. At least that's what, with the information present, that I could try and piece together. So what we're going to do is we're going to move as a group, and we're going to slowly start to make our way there. But before that, I want Phil to look inside the tents and see if he can find anything in particular in terms of notes, anything that can give any important information about these people.
Make me an investigation check.
Investigation, got it. So again, we're gonna activate these toggles, go back to core. So investigation, he's not proficient in it, so it's gonna be a flat roll of a d20. Oh, did I press? I pressed intimidation. My bad.
Yeah.
Investigation. That's going to be a 4.
All right. So still taking his time looking through the abandoned tents. Doesn't really find anything of importance. This stuff that seemed to be left behind in the moment.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, them looking around the camp, not finding anything too important, they're going to go on to try and track down the Cyclopses. And they're going to move in the order of this, where Evixis is going to be in the front, Phil's going to be in the middle, and Jericho, yes, Jericho is going to be in the back.
All right.
Jericho has 108 health.
Yeah, he's kind of beefy, actually.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Armor class 12.
Bit chunk on him.
Yeah. Armor class 12 though, so a little bit easier to hit. But it be like that sometimes.
It do. Whoa. What just happened here?
Everything okay?
Yeah. I'm just working on some stuff with the dynamic lighting, and it just weirded out on me.
So that is the one thing that you could always thank your DMs for, especially when you're playing online sessions. There is so much that goes behind making one scene functioning.
One sec while I work this out real quick.
Some small technical difficulties. Doesn't seem like anything that can't be fixed within a couple minutes, though.
Yeah, I'm literally almost done with it right now.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, we're good.
All right.
So, you are going to continue to follow the tracks of the Cyclops up to the top left area.
Yes.
So I'm going to need a survival check from someone within the party to see how well you were able to track these Cyclops.
Okay, well, Evixis is the resident survival expert, so they're going to do the survival check for the party. Would it be possible for Jericho to assist with this?
I mean, he does have the ability to do the help action.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's ban that Haas first. There we go. Yeah, no, because one of my friends told me that these Haas accounts are spam accounts that start like spamming racial slurs and all that. So yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm not risking it at all.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's horrible.
Yeah. So anytime they pop up, I'm just gonna try and immediately ban them.
As you should.
Yeah. All right. Where was I? Oh yes. So since Jericho has a help action, Evixis will be able to make that advantage for that survival check. And let's go back to the chat.
That would be a nat 20.
So a natural 20. So a variant rule that most people go by with natural 20s is when you make a skill check, a save, an attack, or a death save, the natural 20 gives an extra effect.
Well, less an extra effect and more a more pronounced success is the way to think of it.
Yeah.
And in this case, Evixis, you are able to perfectly direct the rest of your group. And as you make your way through the dense the dense forest area that you are within, you eventually come to a clearing. And what you see before you is quite shocking, actually. You see a giant stone tower rising up out of the ground. And as you approach closer and closer, the rains actually begin to pick up, becoming more aggressive. Lightning is now striking at this tower all over. It's almost as though the tower is coated in a visage of lightning.
Ooh.
And you see that the Cyclopean footprints do lead directly to the tower.
Ah. Does this bring us to a new map?
So, here, give me 1 second to drop one thing on this map, and then I can put you onto it.
Gotcha.
Do I have a token for this? We're gonna go here. So I'm going to have to quickly just grab an image, just because I apparently don't have a rock token that I can just put on a map.
Shame on you! Execution!
1 second. There we go. That'll work. Alright. So, I will now drag you onto the new map. For here. Let me grab your characters.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Copy. And...
Ah, there they are. Everything is still black.
That's because I'm going to have to give him vision, I believe.
Yep. And
Vision?
both
On for that.
both Vixus and Phil have 60 feet dark vision.
Got it. Should be able to see, so I'm actually not sure why you can't.
And everything's just pitch black.
I have the lighting things turned on properly. Oh, there we go.
Haha!
There we go.
Nice.
So, let me read you some text real quick. So, the party first come upon the tower late in the night, but as you approach the tower, you see your first challenge before you, as the mouth is covered by a great boulder. The tower's outer walls course with the power of hundreds of lightning bolts striking it every minute, while the winds are raising to an almost deafening level. Attempting to scale the tower seems to be almost suicidal in nature. The lightning strikes, howling winds, and smell of burning stone tell you as much.
Huh. Okay. So, what I'd like to do then is I want to see if I move around the perimeter of this building, see if there's any alternative entrances. So I'll slowly make my way, and I'll stop once you tell me to.
Sure. Ignore this. That's not supposed to be there. It was just a piece of something inside.
Gotcha. We're just gonna... Bam. Bam. Oh, I wonder what this is.
Man, it's almost like it's the thing I told you to ignore.
Alright, so looking around the perimeter, or at least looking around two other sides of the area, it seems like there's no other concrete entrances, ones that are clearly evident. So, what I'd like to do is, with Phil, I want to see if Phil can determine if there's any hidden doors on this wall. Any
Sure.
secret entrances.
Will
And...
be an investigation or perception check, sir.
And again, I would like to see if Jericho can use a help action for this.
Absolutely.
All right, and so that will let Phil do this at advantage, and that's going to be investigation, right?
Or perception, your choice.
Or perception. We'll go with perception because he is proficient with that. And that is going to turn out to 23. He rolled a natural 19 with a modifier of +4 for perception.
Taking his time to look across the walls of this outer tower, it's actually extremely sturdily built. He's unable to find any cracks in the defenses of this wall. Seems like possibly that boulder might be the only way in.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have them just eventually make. Oh boy. We're gonna just do that one by one. Then bam, bam, bam. You have the vision where it changes as they're moving, and I accidentally dragged it over the middle. I don't remember what I saw. So all I saw.
Here, I can fix that.
Yeah.
Real quick. Update and token drop. There we go.
Yep, there we go. That's nice and fixed. So we're going to go back to this boulder. Alright. Now on this boulder, is there any inscriptions?
Nope, it just looks like a big rock.
Like a big rock. Okay. So if I have the three of them push, does it seem like we can push it out the way?
From the boulder, it does seem like it would be movable.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to have all of them in a joint effort push and try and get it out the way. With Phil, because he is a bugbear, he does have powerful build, which he will count as a size larger for doing this. So his normal size is medium. So for this...
also going to come in useful for this.
Oh?
Remember, advantage on strength checks.
Ah, that is right. And that comes from... Yes, Cargo Hauler. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you want us to do in terms of rolls for this?
Athletics.
Athletics checks? Gotcha. So, first Phil.
Flat strength check.
Okay.
Athletics or strength?
Okay. I'll do just regular strength checks. Now, will Phil have advantage because of powerful build, or is it still going to be a normal?
I'll give him the advantage.
Okay.
The advantage for it.
Gotcha. Strength check.
Okay.
Alright, well that's a natural 20 on Phil's side. For Evixis, that is going to be a flat strength check. That is going to be a 14. That's not too bad. And advantage on a strength check for Jericho. A 13. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not the worst, but not bad.
So, Vixus and Jericho, they're putting their all into this, and it's not budging in the slightest. But Phil kind of walks up, almost a shit-eating grin on his face, and just gives it this mighty full push, and immediately the boulder begins to budge out of the way. Let me fix that lighting for you.
Gotcha. Ah! That is all very, very big stuff.
So, here, let me read you what's going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
The ground floor of the tower stinks of goats and unwashed animal skins. The room is little more than a rough cave. A great pot bubbles in the southwestern part of the cave, radiating heat. The smell of goat stew permeates the room. To the northwest is a pen constructed from cobbled-together tree stumps. Inside the pen, 4 giant goats lie asleep. Much of the rest of the room is blocked from sight by an enormous stone table. Behind the table stands a great female cyclops scraping the goat's skins draped across it. You hear a rhythmic growling sound coming from behind the table somewhere. You can't see what's making it from where you stand.
Okay. So, now, Evixis wants to cast Pass Without Trace.
Sure.
Alright, right here. That's going to be concentration up to an hour. So, for the 3 of them, Evixis, Jericho, and Phil, they will have plus 10 to their dexterity checks and cannot be tracked except by magical means, and they leave no tracks behind while the spell is active. And
Alright.
I'm going to try and have them stealthily enter the building unnoticed, even though the boulder was moved, and see if they can essentially hug the wall and move along this way. So,
Alright. I'm going to need stealth checks from all of them.
gotcha. So for Phil, that's going to be at normal for a stealth check. That's going to be with plus 10, whatever. So that's going to be a 28 stealth for Phil. For Evixis, that's going to be right there. And that's a natural 20 for Evixis for stealth.
Natural 20s on deck today.
Absolutely. We're going strong today, definitely. So let's just move Jericho. Show us tab. We're going to put Jericho right here. For character sheet, normal. Does he have anything for stealth check specifically? Does not look like it. All right. Skills. He's not proficient in stealth, so we're going to go based off of dex. So it's basically a dex check. And that is a natural 1. So a natural 1 is also called a critical failure.
So, all right. Oof, my boy Phil. I mean, not Phil.
Jericho.
Jericho.
Yes.
My boy Jericho. That's kind of rough there. So, as you guys begin to come in, Jericho clanging about more than usual. Kind of his hook catches on the wall, coming in, scraping things about. He drops his dagger for a second, catching it just barely after it hits the ground. Draping the water off of him from this harsh rain outside. Just making a total mess of the situation, honestly.
Now, because of that, does it sound like we are noticed by anyone?
Yes, you hear the approaching, smashing footsteps of the Cyclops coming towards you.
Mm-hmm. I would like to have the three of them just ready their weapons, just in case.
Alright.
So Vixis will draw out her longbow. Jericho will have... he'll have his hook ready. And Phil will have his glaive.
Alright. The Cyclops looks down upon the tiny morsels that have entered her domain. Who dares enter?
We do actually. We are looking for some people from a caravan. Have you seen them?
You mean the forest people?
I guess. The ones that scattered.
They would not give us their metals. So they ran.
Why do you require metals?
That is none of your business, tiny ones.
I see. Would I be able to do insight check to see if they are lying about the whereabouts of the forest dwellers?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
All right. That's going to be just a 9. Because we're spotted, I'm also going to have Vixis drop concentration on Pass Without Trace.
Sure. From that insight, even from that, it does not seem like the Cyclops is lying to you.
Well, if that's the case, then we shall be on our way.
No, you shall not. And you see the Cyclops goes up to the boulder and begins to start pushing it. I will need Phil to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity save, got you. That's going to be right over here on the saving throw. Dexterity save. A 23.
Phil is successfully able to dodge out of the way as the Cyclops essentially pushes the boulder back into the doorway, blocking your path of escape.
I see. Well, I guess there's no other choice but to take you on.
And with that, for the first time, roll me initiative.
All right. So initiative will be who goes first. So what you want to do on Roll20 is you want to click on the character first. For Phil, then we're going to go to Phil's tab, and we're going to click on Initiative. And his initiative will pop up right here with a solid 20. That's good.
Nice.
Now on to Avixis. Same thing. Click on Avixis, and then press her initiative. A 16, not bad. And then lastly, Jericho. For NPCs, their initiative will be this little icon right over here, with the holy number 11.
So we will have that. I will roll a group initiative for the goats over here.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to roll for the Cyclops in the back. All right. So, this first initiative shall be Boy Phil.
Phil of the future. So Phil will move 5 feet right there to try and get in front of everyone. And with his glaive and his extra reach, Phil is going to start attacking.
All right.
So he's going to attack with his glaive. So first attack is a 25. So the 25 is the roll to see if they hit against the creature. This is going to be contested against an enemy's armor class.
A 25 will indeed hit.
And then from there, then you'll see that the damage is already calculated here. And this is going to be, if they have no resistance to this damage, this is going to be the full amount of damage they take from the attack. Does it seem like all of the damage goes through? Now this is a regular glaive, no magic, no silvered.
It does indeed look like it has gone through.
Okay. So from that, you can kind of determine that they don't have any resistance to normal weapons. Now, Phil does have an extra attack, so he will do that as well. So Phil will take his second attack. Does a 10 hit?
A 10, unfortunately, is a miss.
Okay. So that means that just didn't meet the armor class, which, unfortunately, it with fires. All right. And
Right.
that will be
That
Phil's
is for
turn.
Phil.
Yes. So what Phil did during his turn was just an action. You also have the option of a bonus action during your turn, or at any time in the turn order, you have a reaction. But Phil doesn't have anything right now needed for bonus action. Let's see. If you surprise a creature, we didn't surprise this creature. Yeah, so that's the only thing I can think of. Looking at the glaive. Yep. All right. On to Evixis' turn. Evixis, being a ranged character, Evixis is going to try and put some distance between her and the target. She does have a 45 move speed because she has not started her turn near a hostile creature. So Evixis is going to move right there. So the range right now of the attack is Evixis is 70 feet away from the target. Longbows have one of the best ranges, so Evixis definitely has a range for this. So first attack with the longbow. And that's going to be a 16. Does a 16 hit?
16 does indeed hit.
All right. So because of that, as we talked about before with Skydancer, the striking winds tacks on extra damage from that. So it's 1d6. So it's going to be an additional 4 damage, and that will count as magic. But the longbow is also magic, so that's 14 piercing magic damage.
Solid. It all goes through.
Okay. Now, off of that attack, I'm also going to activate the favored foe, because I've met the conditions of hitting a creature. That creature is now marked, and every time I damage it with Evixis, it's going to deal an extra 1d6 off a favored foe. Now, I'm going to do the extra attack for longbow. And let's see how that goes. A 28.
A 28 is absolutely a hit.
Okay. And so we're going to proc off favored foe right there, which deals an additional 4 damage. So for a total of 12 damage.
Solid.
And that will be Evixis' turn.
All right. Jericho.
Let's see. Jericho will move back just a little bit right there. And we'll give the help action for the next time that Phil tries to attack.
All right.
And essentially the way that Jericho is going to do that is trying to read the blind spots of the Cyclops and the wide swings, so that as to give Phil a better opportunity of hitting a decisive blow.
All right. Next, the goats. Nothing.
Hopefully they stay doing nothing.
We'll see. It might happen. Who knows? Our Cyclopean friend is going to take a step forward.
Ooh, I like that
towards
violin.
Phil. And is going to make 2 attacks with their great club at Phil.
Oh boy.
What is Phil's AC?
Phil's AC is 17.
That will be 1 hit. Off of that, 14 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So the important thing to note for players is the DMs do not have to disclose what they roll, because typically when they are not on the other side of a screen, in person they will be on the other side of a physical screen called the DM screen. And that's where they do all of their rolls, that's where they have all of their notes. And you said 14 damage, right?
14 bludgeoning.
Okay, 14 bludgeoning damage. So that brings Phil down to 96 health. So, still solid.
Alright. Now, the other Cyclops. Cyclops awakens.
Oh my. So it was asleep before.
Yes, that rhythmic growling that you were hearing was the sound of snoring.
Oh boy.
Oh, actually, I forgot to point out something. As Avixis ran past over to this way, she was met by tense heat coming from the boiling pot over here. It's like burning almost to get closer to it. It's super hot.
Ah. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind.
Alright. Let's go back to Phil.
Alright, so Phil's gonna try and just stay where they are, and they are going to just keep on attacking and see if they can just whittle down Cyclops' health. So we're going to go with a glaive attack again, but this time it's going to be at advantage because Jericho was helping. Now, will that be for the turn or just for the attack?
I believe it's just for the next one. I will look it up real quick.
Okay. So while you're doing that, I'm going to roll this attack. That's going to be an 18 to hit.
That will indeed hit. It's the first attack roll gains advantage, so it's only 1.
That's fine. All right. So we'll go back to normal. We're rolling just 1d20. And we're going to go for that glaive attack again. And that is a natural 20. So with a natural 20, the way it goes is however much dice you normally roll, so 1d10 for a glaive, you get to double the amount of dice that you roll. So that becomes 2d10 that you get to roll.
What is that, your 5th nat 20 since we started?
Yeah, about. I think so. As a little like background context, for like the past week or so, I have been rolling horribly in D&D, and I feel like it's been all saved up for this moment.
Apparently,
you will have days where Phil will stay right there. He's lost a little bit of health, but he's not too concerned about it because he's not bloody. Bloody is a term where a creature is half health or lower.
Alright. Avixis.
Alright, Avixis is going to move back a little bit to more distance themselves from the heat now of this boiling pot. And we're going to continue with the attacks. And striking winds is once per turn, correct? At the start of your turn as long...
Yes, it's once per turn.
Yep. Alright, perfect. So we're going to do that attack again. So, Longbow. A 15 to hit. Does that hit?
That does hit.
Okay, so that's going to proc off the favored foe that I still have active, and striking winds. So that's going to be
15.
Off the first attack.
And I believe that is going to bring our Cyclopean friend into the bloodied range.
Ooh. And now on for the second attack. That's going to be a 14 to hit. Does that hit?
That will also hit.
Okay, so that's going to proc off Favored Foe again. The good thing about Favored Foe is that procs off of every attack that Avixis makes. As long as they're attacking the marked target, of course.
Of course. Alright. Anything else for Avixis?
That is all that Avixis will do.
Jericho.
Alright. What will Jericho do now? Target be 30 feet. Let's see. Type creature, the target can be used 30 feet away. Then attack roll, the extra damage is the same type. I'm going to have Jericho go up to the Cyclopean. So that's going to be 20 feet of movement. And make an attack. They are going to try and attack with the hook. That's going to be a 13 to hit.
That will be a miss.
Okay. Ah. Also, your audio got a little low.
I might have just been talking low.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, much better now.
Yeah, I was just talking quiet.
Okay.
Alright. So, I'm assuming that's it for poor Jericho.
Yeah, unfortunately. Because Jericho does not have extra attack.
The goats, once again, will do nothing.
Ah, yes, thankfully.
Cyclopean is going to make one attack at Jericho and one attack at Phil.
Oh boy.
So that will be a swing and a swing. What is their ACs?
Phil's AC is going to be 17, and Jericho's is going to be a 12.
Jericho's going to take that hit. It's going to sting a little bit. That's going to be 17 bludgeoning damage.
Oh boy. That's a little bit painful. Nothing to scoff at.
Alright. This Cyclops will begin walking forward.
Oh boy.
4, 5, 6. You're going to see it start uttering words towards the goats in the pen. And you see one of the goats start getting anger within its eyes.
Ah. Okay. Alright. We're going to see if we can reposition Phil. So Phil has 30 movement speed, so he can move 5 feet, 5 feet, bam, bam, bam. That's 30 feet right there. Alright. So I'm going to have Phil move 30 feet in that direction. To which he ends up over here. And Phil is going to make his attacks again.
Alright.
So, the glaive, bam, a 27 to hit.
That is indeed a hit.
Okay. And then for second attack, a 26 to hit.
That is also a hit.
Okay. And that will be Phil's turn.
Alright. Avixis.
Okay. So Avixis is going to try and check up on what the situation is over here with the sounds that she's been hearing. So Avixis is going to move in this direction, 45 feet. Sees, I'm assuming, the Cyclops interacting with that goat, right?
Yes. I will mark which goat is now angered.
No problem. Alright. So, if that's the case, then the range is 150 feet for this spell, so we're going to cast Spike Growth. Originating right here.
Alright.
And that's going to be in a 20-foot radius. So 20-foot radius is going to look like that. Bam. 20 from that. Cool.
Radius. 15-foot radius. So this would be a 20-foot radius.
Yep. I have it traced out there as well.
You gotta do snap to corner. You gotta snap the center on.
Oh, my bad. All right. And just put that behind everything.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So basically what spike growth does is it creates this radius of spiked bramble, and it's going to make it more difficult for creatures to pass this area, and while they're passing the area, they're also going to take damage.
All right. Anything else for Evixis?
Well, that was the main action for Evixis. So now, let me just see. I want to see what Nature's Veil specifically was again. Okay, no benefit. Draw as a bonus action. All right. Now I'm gonna have Evixis use Nature's Veil and turn invisible.
Huh. Fair.
Yep. Wait, hold on. That's a bonus action, or hold on.
Yeah, it is a bonus action.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so that is a bonus action. And we're going to put this as a... Oh, you got it. Bam. Saying that they're just a little bit invisible.
It's a little sneaky. Is that it for Evixis?
Yes, that will be all for Evixis.
All right. Over to Jericho.
All right.
Music stopped.
Now we're going to start a beautiful mechanic in D&D called flanking. So Jericho is going to move up 10 feet. And right now, Jericho is completely bisecting the Cyclops with Phil. So because of that, that is something called flanking, which means that their attacks, as long as they stay in a position similar to this, will be at advantage. Bam. And he's going to continue attacking with the hook. 26 to hit.
That will indeed hit.
Perfect.
And the Cyclops is grappled by Phil now.
Ooh, nice. And that is all that Jericho can do.
All right. The goats have been angered.
Mm-hmm. Now, because it was casted in front of everyone, they clearly also see the giant spike growth that's in front of them.
Yes. But also, goats are not smart.
No, this is true.
In fact, they have a -4 to intelligence.
Oh, boy. We love that.
So, they have 40 feet of movement.
Head empty, no think.
No think, only Angie. Well, so they're going to get there. They can move another 10 feet because of difficult terrain. So they're going to get there.
And for every 5 feet that they've moved within,
Yeah.
they're going to take 2d4 damage.
That's 5, 10. 5, 10. They're now in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so that's another 10 right
Yep.
there.
So that's 25.
20 feet of movement that they've gone so far.
Ah, yeah.
30, 40.
All right, so that's 6d4. So we're going to do /R 6d4 to roll the damage. They've taken now 17 damage from the spike growth.
The goat is immediately bloody.
Nice.
Well, that's all the goat is gonna do.
Ah.
The giant, once again, one attack at each of you.
Okay. Is the grappling going to give them disadvantage?
I don't believe grappling gives them disadvantage.
Okay.
I will double check the condition just to be safe.
Yeah. So in D&D there is a variety of conditions. Grappled is one of them. Journey, would you be able to explain what grappled is?
The grapple condition imposes as follows. A grappled creature's speed becomes 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or grappling effect. So in this case, currently, this Cyclops has its speed reduced to 0, and it cannot benefit from any bonus to its speed. Unfortunately, for our adventurers, though, it is not trying to move, it is trying to swing.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Oh boy.
Also positive that Jericho's getting hit again.
Yeah, probably.
He's taking another 12 damage.
Lovely.
That's a low roll.
That's a low roll?
I hope you know I have not rolled more than half of the potential of this damage yet.
Oh boy.
Other Cyclops. 30 feet of movement that they got will go. They're also kind of dumb. 10, 20.
That's 2,
30.
4, 6.
And they're gonna rip a chunk out of the ground and chuck it at you.
And remember, Vixus is invisible right now.
All right.
Yes.
So they're gonna chuck it at where they last saw Vixus.
Yep.
Which either way is already gonna be a disadvantage.
Yep. And the Cyclops takes 18 damage from the spiked growth.
Spiked growth is good as hell.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite spells as a ranger.
All right.
Vixus's AC is 16.
Chunk of floor tile just smashes against the wall.
Nice.
Back up to Phil.
All right, now Phil's turn. He gets to attack at advantage now. So first attack with the glaive, a 25 to hit.
That will be a hit.
And second attack, a 20 to hit.
Well, my good friend, for the first time in this one shot, how would you like to do?
So what ends up happening is Phil swings the glaive around and is able to first slice the calf of the Cyclops, bringing it down, and with the second swing, cleaving the neck. Your audio got really weak again.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know why it's doing that. That's weird.
Oh, much better now.
Okay. I haven't changed anything, but okay.
Yeah. All right, and that is the first official death in this one shot.
Indeed it is.
Now, if you ever want to not kill things, you do have the option of non-lethal damage. Non-lethal damage will only work with weapons. They will not work with spells, unfortunately. And even then, there are some things where non-lethal damage is just not an option. Like, for example, an explosive.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be rather difficult to make, for example, a grenade non-lethal.
Yeah. Shrapnel doesn't really care if you say non-lethal.
On the other hand, you can always try and aim your arrow towards the kneecaps or the glaive towards, the Achilles tendon, the back muscles, stuff like that.
Or just hit him with the blunt end of it.
That too. All right. So,
anything else for Phil?
Yeah, he's got some movement, so he's going to definitely use it. So he's going to move in this direction to start making his way back to Evixis.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else?
That is going to be it.
All right, Evixis.
All right, so with Evixis' turn, I believe their invisibility ends with with Nature's Veil. But that's okay, because Vixus is going to make attacks anyways. So, at normal, this longbow attack. A 23 to hit.
That will indeed hit. I'm assuming you're targeting the Cyclops, yes?
Yes. So that's going to proc off Striking Winds, and we're going to activate Favored Foe onto this one, since this original Cyclops has died.
Yes.
All right, now, second attack. We're going to go with the Longbow again. A 31 to hit.
I believe that's a hit.
I'm pretty certain. So Favored Foe is going to proc on that. That's going to be an additional 1 damage.
All right.
But that's 1 more than we had before.
That is. That definitely is. Anything else for Vixus?
Oh yeah, Vixus is also now going to take some movement.
No. Stay where you are.
No, it's okay. I promise you, it's okay.
All right, Jericho.
All right, Jericho. What's his speed again? Jericho's speed is 30 feet. Jericho is going to try and take the dash action as a bonus action, and try and meet up with Evixis. So that means that Jericho's movement speed is now 60. So Jericho is going to get right here.
Got it.
Now he's got some space left. So what he's going to do is, Evixis is that much far away. So as a main action, I'm also going to have Jericho dash again for that extra speed, just so that Jericho can get right behind her. Because even
some real speed.
You about to see some real speed, and that's all that Jericho is going to do.
Right. The goat, after learning immense pain, is going to choose to stay where it is.
Ah, yes. There we go. That's an amazing idea.
This one is dead.
Yes.
This one is Angie.
Oh, I would imagine so. That's going to be 2d4. And that wouldn't count, right?
That would be it moving out of it, so no.
Okay, well, 2d4 still. That's going to be 4 damage.
So that's that amount.
Mm-hmm. Is it bloody yet?
It is not.
Ah. I could hope and dream.
Cyclops is going to go and grab the pot of boiling stew.
Oh boy.
And is going to chuck it at Evixis and Jericho.
Oh
I
no.
need both of them to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, Jericho first. And he has evasion. So with this one, we're going to do dex save at normal. Bam. That's going to be a 10 to the dex save. And then for Evixis, normal. Dex save. It's going to be a 23 for Evixis.
That will be a pass for Evixis, but a fail for Jericho.
Okay, but evasion will give...
only take half.
Yes. And I'm assuming that Evixis will still take half damage?
Yes.
Okay.
So they will both take 5 fire damage.
Oof. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of chickens.
No, that's a lot of goat.
That is a lot of goat. And that will be the Cyclops.
Okay. Alright, now it's Phil's turn. See, the benefit of Phil is Phil doesn't even have to get fully close. But he's going to anyways. Because what's the fun in not doing it? Phil's going to get right there. And Phil's going to start swinging again. At normal this time, because no one is flanking with him. So sad. Excuse me.
What?
A 22 to hit.
That will be a hit.
Okay. And then a second attack. A natural 20.
Stop. Stop.
Oh, by the way, I get to use Great Weapon Fighter for the first attack since I rolled a 2. So I'm going to re-roll that d10 and see if I get more damage. And yes, there is more damage in that. So Instead of 6 slashing, that's going to be 13 slashing for the first.
Stop.
Also, for the glaive, for the natural 20, the first d10 was a 1. So I'm going to re-roll that. Ah, yes. So 5 more damage tacked onto that.
Got it. So you done being a menace to society yet?
For now.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we're bloody now.
Oh, yeah.
That's bloody.
You have arrived at your destination.
Avixis.
Alright, well, Avixis is going to move up to here and start taking some shots.
Nice.
So, Longbow. A natural 20.
Please.
Now, the great thing about this is that
Oh no.
it doubles all the damage of... doubles the dice of all damage. So, for Avixis, that also means double the favored foe. And double the striking wins. Unfortunately, some low rolls.
I'll take that.
Unfortunately, some low rolls.
Damage altogether.
It still adds up, though, which is
It
great.
does. It definitely does.
Oh, you know what's the best part?
Another attack.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Longbow. A 24 to hit.
That it does hit.
And favored foe again. Favored foe and I have a very rough relationship. And that rough relationship is in the term of it never likes to roll above a 2 for me half the time.
We'll take it.
Oh, of course you'll take it.
I mean, yeah. Anything else for Avixis?
Bonus action invisible again.
You can do that multiple times? I thought it was once per rest.
Isn't that per proficiency? Hold on, let me double check.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, equal to proficiency.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the second time I've used this, so I can use it 2 more times before a rest. Specifically before a long rest. Okay. On to Jericho. Huh, can you imagine where Jericho's gonna go?
Away. He's gonna leave.
Oh yeah, he's moving away from his current position and to the Cyclops. Oh look, they're flanking. I mean, the Cyclops also didn't have to spill the Sioux. So, here we are. Does a 15 hit?
It does. It actually does.
Ah, beautiful.
Anything else for Jericho?
That's all that Jericho can do.
Not gonna bonus action help?
Can he do bonus action help?
That's literally what the helpful ability is.
Where's...
Buff cunning action.
above? Okay. Yeah, so then he'll, as a bonus action, help Avixis on her next attack.
Got it. Goat. Yeah, no. Goat's not moving. Goat learned. Goat learned.
The Cyclops obviously hasn't learned, though.
No. In fact, the Cyclops is gonna swing.
Ooh.
Who's in range for this? Actually. Yeah. Cyclops is gonna rip another chunk of ground up and chuck it at Avixis.
Oh boy.
No, Avixis is invisible again.
Yes.
Never mind. We're gonna go with the other strategy of beating things with great clubs.
Ah.
So one at each.
Ah. Oh, thank you for showing me that. Oh, it's 2021? What? Hello? Wait.
I told you I've been rolling low.
And it missed Jericho. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an amazing moment.
missed Phil also.
Oh, yeah.
Much higher damage roll for Phil.
Oh, boy.
Alright.
Oh, guess whose turn it is now?
Phil?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, and flanking.
No.
Hello. Hello, Cyclops. Meet Glaive.
I swear if you crit again.
No, it's just a 27 to hit.
We'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. And it's the second attack. Oh, it's just 9. Just 9.
Yeah, you know.
But I rolled a 2, so I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh, you don't have to.
Yeah, no, just tack on 1 more damage, so 7 slashing.
Okay. Thank you.
Is it still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna see if that changes with Evixis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we don't have to.
I mean, she comes out of invisibility, and oh, look! Jericho helped Evixis for her next attack.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So, Longbow, at advantage. Oh, 27. Oh.
Well.
And we're going to attack on Favorite Foe, and we're going to attack on Striking Winds.
How does the Vixus want to do it?
It's going to put that one arrow right in the center of its eye.
Nice.
I almost said right between its eyes, but I feel like that would have been a microaggression towards Cyclopses.
Yeah, somewhat, you know. Hey, isn't Favorite Foe concentration?
Is it? Let me double check. Oh, yes, it is. So Spike Growth would have finished.
Yeah.
Ah. That is my fault. So that's also one thing to remember as well. So in D&D, and sometimes that's why you got to be very on top of your stuff, especially as a spellcaster, is you cannot have 2 concentration things at once. So the spike growth should have ended when I did Favorite Foe again.
So, Goat's still over there.
Yes.
Still Angie.
Uh-huh.
The Vix is gonna end it?
Sure. Second attack. Longbow.
You can go ahead and nat 1 for me, please.
How's a 16?
That's bad. No.
Dead.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Perfect.
The goat had 19 health. It took 17 from the spike growth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At minimum, it would still kill it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, at this point, after the 2 Cyclopes all dead, you hear a voice ringing throughout the entire tower. First, the air splits with a deafening roar, and various cables and arcane machinery of the tower begin to whir, buzz, and whine loudly. And you hear this voice. Give up, little adventurers. There's no hope. My tower gathers the storm to me. The time of my transformation is almost upon us.
I'm gonna go with a no.
No further response.
Well, it seems that they are above. So we should look for the stairs. And so that's what the party's going to do. First, they're going to try and seal the goats in.
Okay, if you're going to try to seal the goats in, I will need you to make a strength check to close the pen.
All right, so I want Jericho to try and assist Phil.
Got it.
So that's going to be an advantage. And that's going to be bam. How's a 12?
Just enough.
Perfect. All right. After that, then, and this is another important part for players, I want to loot the bodies. If they have anything interesting on them.
These 2 do not have anything of interest on them. They just had their giant clubs.
Okay. Just the clubs are just all made out of wood.
Yeah, they're just wooden clubs.
I want to drag the clubs over to the fire just so that they get incinerated.
All right. You take your time. You're more than able to do so.
Okay, perfect. And with that, I'm assuming that they start to go over this way. They try and navigate their way through these hay bales.
Yeah, they're just piles of hay. They're thick and deep, but they pose no challenge or issue.
Okay. Now, is this completely fenced off?
Yes, there is a cage blocking off that stairway.
Huh. Okay. So I want to see if... Let's see. Using the hand axe from Phil, can he try and hit the fence and see if he can start breaking parts of it?
Sure. There is also like a locked gate on it that you could attempt to open.
Ooh.
We'll point that out.
Okay. Let's see. They don't have any lock-picking sets. Going back to the bodies, would I be able to look for keys on them?
Sure.
Okay.
Make me an investigation check.
Gotcha. Let's see. Whoop. Investigation. Alright, so they both have flats in investigation. And Jericho has nothing to investigation either. So I'll have Phil do investigation. Do me proud. 17.
You did not find it on either.
What about searching on the table?
The table just seems to be adorned with goat skins.
Moving the goat skins around, there's no key?
Nope, not on the table.
Gotcha. Okay. I want to see if where that Cyclops was laying down, there's like around here, right?
Yes.
If there was a key over here.
Make me an investigation check.
Gotcha. I'll have Avixis do this investigation check. 7.
Would you like Jericho to help?
Yes.
Advantage.
Yes, please. 8. I'm assuming that's a no.
No, that is a no.
All right.
You're unable to find any key.
So we're going to go with the tried, tested, and true method of whacking that lock.
Got it.
So roll to hit, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay. 25.
That will be a hit.
How's the lock looking?
It's looking like it took a bit of damage off of that swing. A few more will definitely probably get it off.
Okay. Do you want me to roll for each hit?
Yeah, just keep rolling me. I'll tell you when you're good.
Gotcha. And the 22.
Okay.
A 26.
Okay.
A 19.
All right.
A 20.
At that one, it breaks.
Nice. All right. And I think that's a good place to leave off today at.
Indeed. Do you want to go up to the next floor to see what the next floor looks like, or do you want to just cut here?
You know what? Yeah, let's see what the next floor has in store for us.
All right.
Let me zoom out a little bit. Yes, the most dangerous thing of all. Hallways.
To note, these are doors here.
I figured.
Yeah.
All right.
With that, we'll wrap up our first episode of One-on-One Shot.
All right. Well, hopefully everyone enjoyed watching. For any new viewers that ends up watching this, if you do like this, please follow and subscribe. We will try and see if we can do this as a semi-regular thing. That way people can get more familiar with the mechanics of D&D, combat, interactions, all that. And we'll see where it goes. And, we'll introduce different characters each time and see if, you guys feel any inclination towards different classes, different races, all that. Any parting words, Journey?
Thank you, everyone who came out to the stream. Thank you, sir, for retesting some of my subclasses so we can get that worked out and see if there's anything that needs to be changed with them.
Oh, I'm liking it.
And I'm looking forward to next time.
All right. So, everyone, have a good night.